Are you looking for the best Wi-Fi 6 routers? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best Wi-Fi 6 routers on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. TP-Link Archer GX90. Top on my list is a high-end gaming router, TP-Link Archer GX90. At $250, it has got top gaming features like a game accelerator, QoS, game boost, a multi-gig Ethernet port, and a massive throughput capacity for faster connections. Besides, putting it to the test beside its predecessor, the performance was much superior, especially in terms of gaming. Archer GX90, with tri-band support, comes at a massive throughput cap of 6,600 megabits per second. The respective speed value on each band is as follows. And the speed test results with a 2 gigabits per second AT&T fiber plan were impressive. Within a 20 feet range, the router achieved download and upload rates of 1.95 gigabits per second and 1.81 gigabits per second, respectively. The router performed excellently even at 40 feet with respective speeds of around 1.57 gigabits per second and 1.41 gigabits per second. If you indulge in high-end gaming, 4K/8K streaming, and other intensive tasks, trust me, you won't be disappointed. Its gaming performance, however, was truly majestic. With QoS turned on to prioritize traffic and gaming features like Game Boost and Game Accelerator working in tandem, Overwatch ran at 18 milliseconds ping and 109 FPS with 4K videos running in the background. Number 2. Synology RT6600ax. Synology RT6600ax readily qualifies as a router with the best security features and parental controls. Besides, it has got tri-band support, a multi-gig port, QoS, and others to deliver a much improved performance than RT2600AC. Synology enters the Wi-Fi 6 market with its RT6600ax. It means it's capable of data rates of up to 6,600 megabits per second, with the capacity of each of the 3 bands as follows. The RT6600ax turned out in my AT&T Fiber 2 gigabits per second throughput performance tests. It had a strong showing in the 20 feet test with a respective download and upload score of 1.94 gigabits per second and 1.8 gigabits per second. Meanwhile, its scores of 1.44 gigabits per second and 1.32 gigabits per second on the 40 feet test beat them all. I used a Wi-Fi mapper app to test wireless strength. It generates heat maps that show the signal strength throughout your space. And although signals are a tad weaker in the outskirts, the distribution is fair throughout. The saturation test with my PS5 running games, smart TVs streaming in 4K, stock trading, and video calls turned out more than decent. And despite the lack of gaming-oriented features, performance was excellent, courtesy of the QoS feature. Number 3. ASUS RTX82U. Next on my list is an interestingly designed gaming router that costs less than $200. With the same speed rating as my previous recommendation, the ASUS RTX82U stands tall when it comes to gaming, thanks to mobile game mode, dedicated gaming port, and RGB lighting. Testing it alongside its predecessor, ASUS RTAC86U, the overall performance was much superior with the inclusion of many advanced features. When it comes to bandwidth, RTAX86U maximizes at 5,400 megabits per second, and the respective bandwise speeds are as follows. Testing with the Xfinity 1 gig plan, the router delivers a solid performance, especially in its proximity range. The respective download and upload speed at 20 feet were registered at 892 megabits per second and 33 megabits per second. At the same time, in the distance test at 45 feet, I experienced speeds of 490 megabits per second and 19 megabits per second, respectively. Next, I looked at the gaming performance. For that, I used my PS5 to play Overwatch and Destiny 2, and the QoS turned on. And to simulate a congested network, I streamed 4K video in the background simultaneously. Even then, it managed a 23 milliseconds latency and a frame rate of 91, which is excellent. Number 4. TP-Link Deco X55. Moving on to my next pick is a mesh system suitable for large homes. Aside from its extensive range, TP-Link Deco X55 bestows a strong throughput capacity at AX3000, decent security features, and more. The mesh system with its dual-band Wi-Fi setup can move data as fast as 3000 megabits per second, and the contribution of each band in it is as follows. Its available speeds make it suitable for any plan equal to or below 1 gigabit per second. And the Deco X55 did just fine in my throughput tests. A MacBook Pro 15 kept 30 feet away from the main router, measured 902 megabits per second for downloads and 33 megabits per second for uploads. Moving 60 feet away dropped respective speeds to around 745 megabits per second and 27 megabits per second. This demonstrates X55's ability to take signals to faraway places. And the available signals were powerful enough to prevail in UHD video streams on YouTube, web surfing, and other basic tasks. Number 5. D-Link RT6600ax. Lastly, if you seek a cheap yet reliable Wi-Fi 6 routing device, I'd recommend the D-Link RT6600ax. It's a major upgrade over your ISP-provided gateway, available at a $15 monthly rental fee. Theoretically, RT6600ax is an AX4800, which is huge, especially at this price. The speed share on each band is as follows. Speeds are great and on par with what's expected from a budget router. With my Xfinity 600 megabits per second plan, my MacBook clocks a download speed of 514 megabits per second and an upload speed of 22 megabits per second from 20 feet away. I popped up the test system in the kitchen, roughly 40 feet away, and registered the respective speeds of 402 megabits per second and 14 megabits per second. The performance was decent, as I could stay online with a plethora of tasks like streaming, browsing, video calls, and more. To test the coverage, I installed DRX4860 in my usual setup, at my grandpa's 1,500 square foot old house. To my surprise, its 4 beamforming antennas do a decent job of penetrating the thick walls and encasing the entire space with decent signals.